Nelson, get her
Welcome
up.
back to the Cactus Wrestling Celebrity Wrestling Brackets. Today we are going to the East region and we have celebrity athletes who wrestled, but you probably know them from other sports. And if you haven't checked out our North region and our West region,
West, yep, North and West.
Yep, we did political presidents and actors. Today we're doing athletes. So, without further ado, let's dive into it with the round of 16. Jason Morris, Olympic judo silver medalist, and he was an All-American for Syracuse.
Yeah, he was also a world bronze medalist in judo.
That
But two-time world placer.
Yeah, world medalist. Yeah.
Wow.
And Glenn Hubbard played for the Atlanta Braves in the MLB, and as a second baseman, was a 1983 All-Star, but he wrestled high school in Utah.
I like his chances.
Yeah.
I think Jason Morris pins him in probably 10 seconds, but
yeah, probably.
Sweet throw.
Have you guys seen that show, Physical 100?
Oh yeah, that show was nuts.
Yeah, so they had that guy, Niepert, who was the Korean baseball player, and he did a lot better than some of those other like muscular people. So I think the baseball players, with their length, especially like if you're a pitcher.
All right, so we'll give him a 17-3 loss.
That's fair.
Instead of 17-1.
Yeah, if you haven't checked out Physical 100 on Netflix, you should definitely check that out.
It was entertaining for sure.
All right, Teddy Bruschi of the New England Patriots versus Brett Butler.
Bruschi, he was a three-time Super Bowl champ, two-time second-team All-Pro. He was in the Pro Bowl. He wrestled in high school in California.
And Brett Butler played for the MLB. He was a National League All-Star in 1991 as a center fielder for the Atlanta Braves, Cleveland Indians, Giants, Dodgers, Mets, and three-time All-Conference high school
in wrestling
champion in Illinois.
Yeah. Three-time All-Conference high school wrestler. But Teddy Bruschi was, he was a middle linebacker. So.
Yeah, I always picked him on my team when I played Madden.
It's hard to go pick the baseball player over the linebacker.
Yeah. I'm trying to see, like, Brett Butler only had 54 career home runs, so he wasn't even that powerful.
Right, but he was three-time All-Conference in Illinois.
Oh, you know what? He had 558 stolen bases, so he was probably pretty fast.
Okay, yeah, quick. Bruschi was this is a speed against strength kind of matchup here.
Yeah, brute force or speed. When you're a baseball player, you have to have incredible reflexes. So I would have to think if Teddy Bruschi charged him with a blast double, Brett Butler could probably spin around and go behind or snap him down or something.
I feel like linebacker is one of the most athletic positions in football. So
it's a very versatile position, sure.
I'm biased. I like baseball. I'm going with Brett Butler here. But I have a feeling that the fandom is going to want to see Bruschi. He was three-time Super Bowl champ? The guy knows how to win.
And he was a California wrestler. Pretty good state, as we've talked about before.
But Illinois is not bad.
Yeah, but all their talent leaves, so.
Well, yeah, and this time he left for baseball. So. Who you picking, Mike?
I'm picking Teddy.
Teddy.
Because he reminds me of one of my favorite referees, I should say, Teddy O.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Notorious legend.
A legend in the reffing world.
Yeah, a legend.
So you're the tiebreaker, Mike.
Yeah, I see that. I've been leaning Bruschi this whole time. Even
That's
though
fair.
you almost swayed me with Butler being, quick reflexes and whatnot. Um, but I can't seem to go against Brewski.
Brutal. Can't win them all.
I'm gonna
Those
say
linebackers are just
Unless
usually
you're Teddy
big
Bruschi.
athletes. Yeah,
yeah, unless you're Teddy Brewski.
Pat Day. Here's a sport we don't talk about often: horse racing. Was he a jockey?
Yeah, he's a jockey. Yeah.
he was the
Four-time
horse.
Eclipse win award for outstanding jockey. Wow. In the Hall of Fame, won 9 Triple Crown races and 12 Breeders' Cup races. He was a 2-time state runner-up and a 1-time champ in Colorado, which I'm high on Colorado. Andrew Aliris, Colton Schultz.
3-time state finalist.
Yeah, 3-time state finalist. Like
1-time champ. I mean, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
But if you're a jockey, you're a lightweight. The guy's probably 100 pounds.
Okay, but we're
He
not
was a guy. He was
that
probably
good.
a 103 as a senior.
He might have been. Yeah.
And Tiki Barber, New York Giants running back, all-time Giants leading rushing and receiving yards. One of 4 individuals who has over 5,000 of both yards. He's in the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. As far as wrestling, he won the district title in wrestling in Virginia in high school.
I mean, I feel like if you incorporate their size, Tiki Barber like makes Pat Day probably look like a very small person by comparatively. But if we're going purely off of wrestling capabilities, I feel like Pat Day is the one that's gonna be knocking him off here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Pat Day,
3-time state finalist. That's
3-time state finalist. I mean, that's pretty good.
Might I add the X factor?
oh,
Tiki Barber's sons, Chasen and AJ, both are from Connecticut. Both played football at Greenwich High.
Ooh.
And both are freak athletes. So
what does that have to do with
Connecticut represent.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
nice.
right.
It's nice to see some Connecticut represent, but
they did not wrestle though.
Yeah, but they didn't wrestle, so that's like a mark, a stain against Tiki. I'm going Pat Day.
Pat Day.
I'm going Pat Day as well.
Pat Day for the win.
Who's the guy? Monty Williams, right? He had a TV show.
Yes.
Wait. Montel Williams, right? Is it Montel? Yeah, Montel Williams. Montel Williams' son wrestled for Greenwich. I think it was Greenwich when I was in high school. Okay. Next up, we have Adam Vinatieri versus Brian Shimer. Adam Vinatieri was also a New England Patriot and Colts kicker. He had 8 kicking records in the NFL, all-time lead scorer with what is this?
2,673 points as a kicker.
Wow. And he wrestled in high school in South Dakota. And he's up against Brian Shimer, who was an Olympic bobsled bronze medalist, 3-time world bronze medalist, 5-time World Cup medalist, 2 gold, 1 silver, 2 bronze, and he was a Kentucky state champion.
I mean, it seems like Shimer knows how to win.
Also, I feel like South Dakota's got to be one of the worst high school wrestling states. Like, I know that South Dakota State's on the rise, but I don't see too many high schoolers from South Dakota.
But it's near Fargo.
Yeah, maybe they go to Minnesota.
Stayed away.
I guess they go to Minnesota. I know Vinatieri is probably the favorite, but I think Shimer is the state champion. He's got to win this one.
I can't go against Shimer. Like he's got all of these medals. I mean, then again, Vinatieri does have all these NFL records for kicking, but
yeah, he was the kicker in Madden that I would pick on my team as well.
Yeah, but
what is kicking? What is kicking good for you in wrestling? You can't kick.
Yeah, bobsled. At least you're running. You got to be agile.
I still think the state champ gives them a huge advantage. I mean, it's the same state that the Rainey brothers, the twins, are state
That's
champions
true.
in.
Kentucky.
So, Kentucky on the rise.
Wow.
So
12-9.
are we
12-9.
saying Scheimer?
Yeah, I mean, I would have had a larger gap, but yeah.
12-8.
12-7.
All right, here's one that I've been waiting for. Ray Lewis, as controversial as he is, he was a Ravens middle linebacker, two-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, seven-time first-team All-Pro, three-time second-team All-Pro, 13-time Pro Bowl, holds 3 NFL records, most combined tackles, most solo tackles, and most solo in a season. And he was a two-time Florida State champion in wrestling.
Whereas his opponent,
yeah, Mark Lindsay. Mark Lindsay was Olympic diving gold and bronze medalist in 92 and 96. He switched from wrestling to diving in high school.
seems like it was a good choice in getting those two, Olympic medals for that.
I will say
I think that Ray Lewis.
Yeah, seems to be a pretty safe Ray Lewis one.
Yeah, I think Ray Lewis annihilates him.
Yeah, I agree. There is, I believe, on YouTube. There's a video of Ray Lewis's high school state championship match.
Yeah,
and it really shows how far wrestling has come.
I mean, I used Ray Lewis for years as a recruiting tool for like every football player. It's like, don't you want to be like Ray Lewis? And then as the years come by, they're like, who's that? And I'm like, God, he was such a good player. How do you not know who he is?
Right.
But
all right, Jim Plunkett, quarterback for the Oakland Raiders, won two Super Bowl titles, also played for the Patriots and 49ers, won a Super Bowl MVP, Heisman, and has the NFL record for longest touchdown pass, 99 yards long. He wrestled in high school in California versus Jeremy Rose. We have another jockey who won the Eclipse Award for Outstanding Jockey. Over 1,700 wins
in Pennsylvania.
No. It's 1,700 wins as a jockey. He wrestled in Pennsylvania, and he decided not to wrestle in college because they got rid of the 118 weight class.
I was going to say 1,700 wins in Pennsylvania. This man is pretty good.
No. That's 1,700 wins as a jockey.
That's still a lot.
And I mean, he knows how to win. And I mean, it sounds like he would have wrestled in college had they not gotten rid of 118. So,
yeah, I feel like jockeys are underrated as athletes. I mean, you have to be small, but still a lot of athleticism that goes into it.
Yeah, I'm going for Rose. I think he beats him up. I think he knocks off Plunkett fairly handedly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay. Plus a quarterback, I mean, especially an older quarterback, they didn't run as much as like guys like Jalen Hurts or Mahomes does nowadays. So not as athletic.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Kevin Harvick, we got a NASCAR driver. Yeah. NASCAR Sprint Cup champion in 2014, NASCAR Cup Series champ 2020. He has numerous other wins.
Yeah, there's like 30 plus things he's won.
Kevin Harvick's actually a very talented racer. I'm a big NASCAR fan.
Yeah, so like he's those are just two big things he's won. He's won a ton of other races, but there's too many to list.
Little known fact, he was a sectional qualifier in high school for California.
Yeah.
Not a champion, a qualifier. Ronnie Lott, cornerback safety for the 49ers, Raiders, Jets, and Chiefs, 4-time Super Bowl champ, 8-time first-team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowl, 2-time interception leader. He wrestled in high school in New Mexico, which I rescind my previous statement about South Dakota. I think New Mexico might be the worst high school state.
Well, here's something that I feel like is impressive about Ronnie Lott. I remember hearing a story that when he was playing in the NFL, he once tackled someone and hit them so hard that he knocked himself unconscious, and then got up and still finished the game. Like he continued playing after he knocked himself out from hitting someone so hard. I mean, I feel like
what does that say about him, though, that he got knocked out? Does that mean he's that tough, or he's
could you imagine not hitting someone so hard you knocked yourself out?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, how?
I mean, also, like Ronnie Lott, like for those of you guys that don't know, like cut his finger off mid-game and went back in.
Yeah, no, like he's insane. Like
Yeah,
it's
like,
great in a great way. Like he's the guy that it didn't matter what was happening. He was in. He was going for the win. I personally am picking Lott.
I was gonna give NASCAR some love because people don't realize how strong of athletes NASCAR drivers have to be, because your body physically can't handle going that fast unless you have like incredible cardiovascular. But Lott's an animal. I go with Lott.
Yeah, I think I'll say it's like an 8-5 type matchup, or 8-6.
He cut off part of his hand to play football in the middle of the game.
It's 8-4.
There we go. Yeah, that's reasonable now.
Now we're talking. All right, the last one of the first round, Bill Schumacher, horse race, another jockey, one of the greatest jockeys, world record for most jockey wins for 29 years. High school, he was apparently undefeated in California high school wrestling. Versus Jimmy Pedro, Olympic judo, two-time bronze medalist, world champ, two-time world bronze, two-time NCAA qualifier in a round of 12 for Brown University.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to go with the
I think you got to go with Pedro. I don't think Schumacher, despite his jockey prowess, is even on close to the same level. I think Pedro mops the floor with him.
To be fair, though, Shoemaker dropped out of high school at 14. So like,
doesn't matter.
Being undefeated, I'm like, I was like, man, undefeated in California, and it's like, oh, he stopped wrestling as a 14-year-old.
Because he stopped wrestling, yeah. All right, 13 to, I'll go 3.
Okay, so Jason Morris, we got the judo versus Teddy Bruschi football. I mean,
judo and All-American against Bruschi.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these judo guys really have an unfair advantage here.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's Bruschi.
I mean, judo's such a not similar sport to wrestling, but like close enough.
Yeah, things do go kind of hand in hand. Like if you know how to do certain things, it definitely helps having the background of wrestling and judo.
Yeah, Jason Morris is gonna be a tough guy to knock off.
Yeah, I don't think Morris is losing here to Bruschi. I think it's safe to say Morris makes his way to the semis.
Yes, sir.
All-American, Division I All-American at one point. I mean,
yeah, all right. We got a 10-1 win here over Bruschi.
All right, Pat Day, the jockey, versus Brian Scheimer, bobsled.
Jockey on bobsled, hot diggity.
Kentucky State champ. Going back to that show, Physical 100, there's this South Korean skeleton athlete who was just like the most freakish athlete I've ever seen. And I won't spoil anything, but they feature him a lot in it. And some of those bobsled racers, I mean, they have to be strong, they have to be fast. They have to know how to move their body in certain positions. Their reflexes have to be quick. I'm going for the bobsled guy here.
Yeah, you don't think riding a horse, you don't have to have good reflexes?
Over 3-time state finalist.
Well, 3-time state finalist, 1-time champ, and then against the Kentucky state champ. So they're both state champs. So, I mean, realistically, I don't think you can go wrong.
I'm going Kentucky with my bobsled guy, Brian Scheimer.
KY.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. Who are you going for, Mike?
I mean, Pat Day is in the Hall of Fame for jockeying.
Yeah, that is for jockeying.
a sport that has, for those of you guys that don't know, it is the lowest BMI sport in the world, is jockeying.
Well, that makes sense.
So yeah, and this guy's probably a lean, mean fighting machine.
He's probably doing it wrong. You ever see Seabiscuit? Tobey Maguire did not do it the right way.
Mm.
That's because he's busy playing Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I think he's cutting weight wrong, and that's why he's not knocking off the bobsledder.
Woo!
Not knocking off the bobsledder.
I think we're looking at a 3-2 matchup here.
Okay. Ray Lewis versus Jeremy Rose. I mean, part of me just wants to see Ray Lewis go against Ronnie Lott and just have these two savage football players just duke it out in the
Beating each other down.
semifinals.
Well, Jeremy Rose, come on, he's a jockey.
I don't know. I think jockeying can only get you so much.
No, yeah, I honestly think Ray Lewis is an animal. I think he would end up annihilating this guy.
I agree.
I think if Ray Lewis never played football, he probably would have wrestled in college. Like if he was just never played football and just wrestled, 2-time state champ, he probably would have wrestled in college and would have been who knows, but yeah, I'm leaning towards Ray Lewis.
I got Ray. He's a beast, physical.
Okay, yeah, we got Ray winning 15-0.
He killed Jeremy Rose. Bad taste. Okay,
right.
Ronnie Lott versus Jimmy Pedro.
I'm going with Ronnie Lott here. I mean, I know it's a big upset because the guy's a freaking 2-time national qualifier for Brown, and Lott is just an animal. Like, who can say they knocked themselves unconscious and still tried to play, and then cut off his finger and was like, "Yeah, I'm good to play." Like, what? That's like he gets injured in a mid-match, and the ref's trying to be like, "You're good. You don't need to finish the match." He's like, "Yes, I do."
Ronnie
Yeah, but that
Lott
doesn't
doesn't
mean
need
he's-
blood time.
That doesn't mean he's good.
Oh, yes, it does. He's got that mental fortitude,
He's gritty.
I love this mentality. Who would you rather on your team? The guy who's proven himself to be a multiple-time qualifier, or this crazy guy who can just go at it?
Who doesn't
Skills
want a loose
mediocre.
cannon?
Yeah. Would you rather have DeSanto?
Yeah. I love a loose cannon on the team.
He makes things more interesting. My vote's for Ronnie Lott. It's up to you two.
I'm going with Jimmy Pedro just because I don't want to be like, hey, man, you can't slam that. And then he comes off the mat and attacks me.
I mean, this is all in good fun. I think it'd be more fun to see what happened between Ray Lewis and Ronnie Lott. So I'm going Ronnie Lott.
Ronnie Lott edges him out 4-3.
What a twist.
No, this would be a match that'd be like 14-13, I think.
Oh.
But
Ronnie Lott throwing hands at the end of it.
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
I can adjust here. 14-13.
Yeah. All right, semifinals, Jason Morris versus Brian Scheimer. As much as I like the bobsledder, I think it's kind of tough.
I think Jason Morris has been Mr. Consistency. He's been the clear-cut favorite. And with his judo, world and Olympic medals, I think I'd go with Morris for the win.
I agree.
Jason Morris advances to the finals.
In dominant fashion. He really hasn't been challenged.
It's just his bracket, baby.
All right, Ray Lewis versus Ronnie Lott. I mean,
my heart wants me to go with Ronnie Lott. Like,
yeah, but Ray Lewis, I mean, he's like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's a monster. Like,
was Ronnie Lott a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, probably.
I think so. Yeah, I think he would be.
I mean, if he's not in it yet, he will be, but I think he is already in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ronnie Lott is. He's a machine.
I mean, both these guys are crazy.
Yeah, that's true. And Ray Lewis does have a bit better wrestling background than Ronnie.
I think you got to go Ray Lewis with the advantage, given that they probably have equal amount of mental strength. But in terms of high school wrestling accolades, Ray Lewis has the advantage.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll go for that. 5-2.
Sure.
So we got a matchup of two Titans here in the finals.
Jason Morris versus Ray Lewis, the proven wrestler. Well, I guess they're both proven. High school
Yeah,
champion
honestly.
versus college All-American. I mean, wrestler to wrestler, you think Morris wipes the floor with him. But what if Ray Lewis didn't go to football and he decided to continue wrestling?
Yeah, you can't leave that factor out. I mean, he might have been making some records in the college wrestling world instead of the NFL. It's definitely possible.
And I feel like Jason Morris, maybe, I don't know much about him, but maybe he went to judo after his wrestling career.
That's likely.
Mm-hmm.
So then what if Ray Lewis did that instead of football? It's not like Jason Morris could just join the NFL and do what Ray Lewis did.
That's very true. Yeah.
I'm thinking Ray Lewis, maybe.
Wow.
Ooh. Wow, that's interesting. I'm on the fence heavily, but I'm gonna make Mike make this decision. I'm gonna pick Jason Morris. Mike's the deciding factor vote here.
I mean, just looking at Jason Morris now, he's an 8th Dan black belt. I mean, that's the highest level in any martial art you could ever be. I mean, this guy, especially with judo, where it has such a big carryover to wrestling ability. I think that judo is the perfect sport for learning how to use a guy's strength and weight against him. And Ray Lewis, as we've probably seen from his technical side, really was using his strength and weight against his opponents.
Very knowledgeably from his wrestling experience.
Mm-hmm. So when you have a guy like Jason Morris who's like, hey, it's exactly what I want, and I've already performed at the top level of college, it's tough to pick against, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a tough pick. That's why I made you make the final call.
So he only had 4 losses as a high school wrestler. Jason Morris.
Wow.
That's pretty tough.
Did he win state twice?
It's funny. It would have been funny if he lost all 4 in the state finals. Let's see. 3-time Class A state champ. He was New York State champion only twice, 84 and 85.
Okay.
He was
two-time state champs.
2-time state champ, EIWA Freshman of the Year. He was a silver medalist, 2-time Division National D1 qualifier, and 1989 he was an All-American, as we knew.
Yep.
And then he really took off with judo after the fact.
Yep. And Ray Lewis is a 2-time state champ in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mike, who are you picking? Who's the winner of the East region?
I'm going with the owner and operator of Real Judo Magazine, Jason Morris.
Wow. I'm gonna say 8-7.
I can see it. It'll be a barn.
I was on the fence, but I was having a trouble picking, and I didn't want to just pick Ray. So all right, I can live with that.
Wow.
Yeah,
the judo champion, the 1 seed, has made it all the way. Well, there you guys have it.
Is this our first 1 seed to win the tournament?
Yeah. Abe Lincoln didn't win it. And what's it called?
Tom Cruise, right?
No, not Tom Cruise.
Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas didn't either. Yeah. So this is the first 1 seed that actually pulled it off.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Drop a comment down below. Here are your celebrity athletes who wrestled. Where did we get it right? Where did we get it wrong? Leave it all in the comments down below. Who do you think was the best celebrity athlete of the field that we have here? Let us know in the comments down below.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.